We lost our place, our vehicle, and all of our belongings.
I mean, I've gone through McDonald's dumpsters before for stuff to eat.
I was desperate, but I was desperate to get a place for me and my daughter so we wouldn't be laying sleeping in a car. I said, we ain't gonna be able to do the thing we used to do. And everything, so we ain't got no place to stay now.
Where I was living in, maybe somebody's basement, or I lived in a camper for a while, or just shacked up with this person or that person, you know.
So we kind of had to build up, start over, staying with friends in a hotel, living off of the little income that we had.
Tommy, Jim, and Victoria are three of the thousands of people who found shelter and stability through Willis Dady Homeless Services since 1987.
People come to us because they're desperately in need of shelter. They don't know where to turn. Sometimes they're not yet on the street, but they know in the next couple of days they won't have a place to lay their head.
There's no typical client. When a client walks in the door and you look at them, you can never guess or assume that they're here for this reason or that reason, because once you sit down and talk with them, it could be something totally different.
Willis Dady Homeless Services provides shelter for men and families in the Cedar Rapids area. We're the only shelter serving single fathers and the only shelter with a homeless prevention program. We provide case management and veteran services in partnership with HACAP through the Operation Home program. Since 1991, our building on 4th Avenue Southeast has housed hundreds of men, women, and children seeking shelter each year.
We see a lot of working adults or disabled adults who have hit the end of their income and haven't been able to pay for rent.
We want to be able to address whatever those barriers are that may have caused the client to have to come to Willis Dady. Also, we want to encourage them into obtaining employment, because even if you're able to get with, let's say, a housing program, they can pay your rent for a couple months. What will you do after then? You have to be able to maintain that housing.
Every day, we help dozens of people lead productive and responsible lives. But with your help, we can move even more people from shelter to stability. Join our Building from Shelter to Stability campaign, a $3 million effort to expand and renovate our Cedar Rapids Shelter and Services building. Your support will help us become safe and ADA accessible, make more shelter rooms for families and overnight workers, and create 4 affordable housing apartments with support services, so we can end homelessness for every person we serve.
When people are handicapped or disabled, we cannot accommodate them at our shelter. We also have many families that struggle to get up the stairs. We have people with mobility issues that we cannot accommodate.
What we don't have is the ability to provide shelter to folks who work third shift, who aren't able to report to the shelter by 6 p.m. And so right now those folks are faced with the impossible decision of quitting their good job or not coming into the shelter.
Building from Shelter to Stability will provide renovations to our current building. It will allow families to access our second-floor living space with the option of an elevator instead of a steep flight of stairs. It will provide beds for those working third-shift jobs, so no one has to choose between working or finding a bed to sleep in. It will allow construction of 4 new permanent housing apartments supported with case management on land Willis Dady already owns. These long-term apartments will fill a critical housing gap and is one of the most cost-effective ways to end the cycle of homelessness for those most in need. Building from Shelter to Stability will also consolidate staff offices into one location for increased efficiency, privacy, and more integrated services. Your support will also provide a necessary on-site storm shelter.
Unfortunately, the policy is in a tornado warning. We are to take people out of the building and go across the street and into a storm shelter, which is not the best idea when you have a tornado warning.
We're going to be there to speak for those who might not otherwise have a voice and to provide advocacy for our clients. What is changing is the way that we do it and the sort of scope of people who we're able to help.
there also is a real business case for our community to understand that we are better off to spend money proactively to help these folks before it gets worse, so that we can stop the downward slide and they can reset and go forward.
What does this community say when it comes to the homeless in general? Are we turning our back to them? Or are we saying, yes, we can help you, we're gonna help you, our hand's out, you just need to reach and grab it too.
And it's going to directly impact the quality of life for hundreds, thousands of households over time in our community. I know that it's a huge return on investment.
You can be the difference for someone like Jim, Victoria, or Tommy, former Willis Dady clients who now have permanent homes. Help Willis Dady Homeless Services help more people building from shelter to stability in our community.
And then they wasn't just saying, we're gonna push you back out there, but they're giving you the push to keep you going.
Our toddler, he's about to start preschool next year. He likes having his own room so he can do what he wants when he wants.
I've got a house, well, an apartment that I can look around and say, that's mine. Open up my refrigerator, and it's full of food that I bought. I've got a key in my pocket that fits to a door that's mine. It's awesome, man. It's awesome.